Hey people, it's me, Turnsville, once again. How are y'all doing today? I'm fine. It's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I just been thinking about stuff once again. I've been thinking about I think half my videos is just me saying the same shit but in a different context. But hey, if you watch my videos, deal with it. But anyway, so I've been thinking about how people are mean and like how people get depressed and stuff like that, so they feel the need to be mean or be a bastard to somebody else. And I don't get it. Like, does it make you better? It doesn't make you feel better to like make somebody else feel like shit. Because some people will legitimately say, yeah, it legitimately makes them feel better to make somebody else feel like shit. And I don't get that. Like, I really don't get it. Some people is just that focused on themselves. It's like they so selfish when it comes to themselves, and not selfless enough when it comes to stuff they care about or stuff they need to care about. Like me, I'm a selfish motherfucker. I'm gonna do for me and mine before I do for anybody. Like, I'm a nice person. I would help somebody out. Like right now I'm doing the Reddit gifts things and I'm not getting nobody, like really not that many people I know anything for Christmas. But when it boils down to it, I'm not a horrible person. But some people literally just so selfish with the fact, because I don't or people at school or something like that. So, like, violence begets violence. Being a bastard begets being a bastard. So if you've been treated like a bastard your whole life, you probably gonna treat somebody else like a bastard. And that's just humanity. But when you being selfish to the point where you can't care about anybody else, like you can't physically bring yourself to be nice to somebody just because you think they should only be nice to you, that's so wrong. And some people justify it by like, oh, I did this, I was treated like this way when I was young. Who gives a fuck how you were treated when you were young? Like, all these people be like, oh, it's because of my upbringing. Like, okay, me and my friend was talking about Michael Jackson the other day, and talking about how he died, how he grew up, like, oh, he never had a childhood. So, his brothers never had a childhood, but look at them. They turned out the same. They did not turn out the same way as him. Getting plastic surgery everywhere, being accused of messing with kids. Because even if it wasn't true, you got accused of it. None of his brother got accused of shit. So who cares about upbringing? Who cares about, like me, the only thing I know from my upbringing that I really don't let fly with me is I can't be called an idiot. I hate being called an idiot. If you call me an idiot, we probably ain't friends. I don't like you. The only person who has leeway to call me an idiot is my favorite cousin and my mama. That's it. I don't like it, but I know my cousin just playing with me, and my mama, she used to it. I ain't gonna tell her to stop because she's my mama. But I hate it. And I would tell people up front that I hate it. I ain't gonna be mean about it. I'm be like, translate to every moment in my life. I ain't gonna base nothing. Oh, I was called an idiot when I was a little bit, so I would call everybody else an idiot. No. I don't call nobody idiot. I call you stupid, I call you dumb, but I would never call anybody an idiot. And that's my childhood. Like, I had a pretty good childhood. I got a lot of whoopings. I got in trouble more than anybody in my generation, in my family. I got in trouble the most. I might not get suspended and all this stuff, but I got the most whoopings. Well, maybe for mine. But when it boils down to it, I had a pretty good childhood. But I had some bad points. I was depressed when I was little. Nobody knew. But I didn't let that phase me to the point where I'm treating somebody like shit. You should never let nobody phase you to the point where they're treating you like shit. And even if you do, when you grow up, get over that shit. Because if you can't move on from somebody treating you bad in high school, kindergarten, elementary, middle school, if you can't move past that, what's your point? What's the point in life? Like, you could become something great because, and then just because somebody treated you a certain way while you was young, you go crazy. I know people that was literally raped and don't treat nobody bad. They have all right to be angry at the world, but don't treat nobody bad. They don't let it affect their lives anymore. They don't want to remember it. But it don't change them to a point where they treat everybody else like they owe them, like they just treating everybody like you an asshole. And it shouldn't be that way among humanity. We should be able to coexist with one another without like having no big problems at all. It's like the main problems with humanity is money, religion, and little differences among humanity, which is dumb. It's like if you accepted everything, you don't have to like it, but you can accept it. It's not that hard. And then it's on a big level where these, like, a country treating another country wrong just because they're a different color, or a country treating another country wrong just because they have a different religion. That's dumb. And that's just the people in charge. That's literally the people in charge of things need to be booted out or be working for minimum wage. Because, like, I think it's like, once I saw that, it's like a picture on Facebook that say all politicians should be put on minimum wage, and I strictly am behind that. You know why? Because if somebody on minimum wage and will always be on minimum wage running things, it's gonna go one or two ways. They're gonna try to make more money for themselves, or they're gonna try to make things better. And for real, if being a politician was one of those professions, like, oh, you working at McDonald's? No, I'm a politician. Same thing. If it was one of those professions, you wouldn't even want to tell nobody that you work as a politician just because of how much money you don't make. But at the same time, there are those people that actually want to make a difference that don't even get to be there, be at the point where they in charge or where they saying stuff to people, like actually making a difference among people. Those people don't even get a chance. It's just the people that want to get over, the people that want to get money over on other folks. And that's wrong. Because I know there's a lot more people than the people we have in charge that want to be in charge and actually want to make a difference. Because I don't trust no politician. Black, white, Asian, I don't give a fuck. I don't trust no politician from any country. Because they all lie. They all got their jobs just because they went to college. Like, some of these people, some politicians don't even have to deal with everyday problems. They just run everyday problems. No politician, for real, I don't think nobody that's literally over middle class should be able to be a politician. Because they never been through it. They never been to the point of where they, like your mama having problems paying for food. That your mama having problems buying you Christmas gifts. If your mama made over $40,000 a year, you should not be able to be a politician. That's just in my idea. Because they think they can make a difference. And some actually want to help people. But you don't know. You've never been through, like me right now, I'm broke in the motherfucker. I'm broke as hell. I ain't got shit. Probably ain't gonna have shit for a long time. But if most people had the know-how to help people, they would. But I think at the same time, you should have the know-how and you should have went through it. Because some people have never went through it but run things. They on the outside looking in. Like, I've never had much in my life. I've had enough. My mama has provided me and I am so grateful. But I think my mama should be a politician. Just for the simple fact that she's been through the stuff. She was in the time where poverty was common. She was raised in that time. And the people that are in charge were raised in that time but weren't in poverty. Some of them were. A lot of them wasn't. I don't think unless you truly experienced it, I don't think you should be able to be a politician, and that's just my opinion. But all in all, it's just I hate it when people get treated like shit for no reason. Like, what's the point in you being an asshole to this person? If it make you feel better, fine. But you don't need. You need to, like, if it make you feel better, it's literally something wrong with you. Treating somebody else like shit should not make you feel better. That's one of those things where you need to go inside yourself and see what's wrong with you to make yourself feel better. Because I'm not gonna lie, I sit down and talk to myself all the time. I may be crazy, but I do it. I make myself feel better because nobody else can help me. Like doctors and friends, and they try, but nobody else can help me but me. I can sit down and talk to myself for an hour and get rid of my own problems. That's why that's why I always like being the guy that helped my friends out with their problems, because most of my friends, they couldn't handle their own problems, but they were always nice. They were always selfless. I've sat through a million awkward conversations, but none of that stuff affected my friends. Like, so they eventually turned into people that I don't like now. Some of them, but most of them, they had these problems growing up, and they still good people. And that's amazing because they had real world problems. Not, oh, I broke it down. No, none of that bullshit. So I don't see, and it's like people, like, you know those pictures on Facebook where they have their pregnant woman saying, and she all skinny after she had her baby for after 2-3 months, and he's like, oh, I was just pregnant 3 months ago. What's your excuse? Like, my fucking excuse is I want to sit on my ass. I don't like to move. Like, for real. Most people when they pregnant don't like to do shit. Nothing. Why? And that's a bad way to put things, because it'd be like, oh, I had a horrible childhood too. Look at me now. So some people have problems, but that don't mean you have to be evil or crazy or just And I don't know where this conversation was supposed to go. It started off with being like just being nice to people. But let's just put this. The moral of the story is, don't be an asshole. Because in the end, when the world is about to end, or somebody or zombie apocalypse happen, or just you want a spot in line, they ain't gonna help the person that's being an asshole to everybody. They ain't gonna help the person that's going out of their way to be a dick. You only help the people when you get that vibe that this is a good person. Because when you immediately meet somebody, you know if they're a good person or not. You can feel it as another person. You can feel that shit. Because I sure can. You know good people from bad people. You know mean people from nice people. You can tell. It's just a feeling. Some people act on it, some people don't. And I hope somebody watches my videos. To the 2-3 people that watch my videos, thank you for watching this episode, because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm bored. So, yeah. Good night. This has been a message from Turnsville, aka Setsu. See ya.